So everyone should have that got it sign. So you just check that off. So hello, everyone. My name is Mario Lewis. I want to welcome you to today's program for Omni-Pro Speakers Bureau. This is our Happy Thanksgiving program. Again, I will be serving as the moderator for today. The theme for today, I think we've kind of made it quite clear through the flyer poster, is gratitude. In this wonderful Thanksgiving season, I think we can all agree, we have so much to be thankful for. I mean, there's just in this season, it's just a wonderful time. So today we're going to explore things that you are grateful for. So I ask you the question now, and I'll be asking it again throughout the entire program. What are the things you're grateful for? So today, the members of the Omni-Pro Speakers Bureau have the opportunity to share their thoughts on the many things that they are thankful for. And I ask you as audience members to share. But what I assure you today that this is going to be an interactive program. You will have the opportunity to engage with and speak alongside with us. So in between our lineup of speakers today, and I'll go through the list of speakers, and they're also present on the flyer, we will be selecting randomly lucky winners using our wheel of names, which Cindy will display. So Cindy, do you want to take a moment to display it? Using the names of wheels, the wheel of names, there are different names for different people who have signed up and will be participating. So for the folks who are already online, we ask that you will give a 1 minute, let's call it a table topic, or let's just give some type of mention of what are the things that you were thankful for and why you're thankful in this season. So again, that's why I'm saying this is an interactive program. We want you to participate. So in between the different speakers, we're going to spin the wheel, and whoever gets to be lucky enough to be selected will be the person we ask to unmute and share a few comments again on the things that you are thankful for and just why you're thankful in this holiday season. So I'll pause to give a few housekeeping rules. We ask that you kindly remain on mute unless you are speaking or have been invited to speak, and that goes for everyone on the line. And then again, we kindly ask for those of you who have been selected to speak just to limit the time to about a minute or so we can make sure that we are timely for our program. So for today, we are very fortunate to have the different speakers from Omni-Pro, and we're going to give some time at the end to talk a little bit about Omni-Pro, the work that we do, and how you can again engage with us. So we have Darlene Blanco is going to be our first speaker, and I'll introduce them individually. We have Isaac Gilbinovich will be our second speaker for today. Cheer, cheer, cheer. We'll have Margarita Estrada is going to be our third speaker today, and I will introduce her accordingly. I am so fortunate, and that's something I'm grateful for. I am grateful to be the fourth speaker for today. And batting cleanup, coming in last but not least, we have Cindy Wilson, who is going to close out our program today by sharing some of the wonderful things that she is grateful for. So I will take a moment to pause to make sure I have not missed anything in my introduction today. And if I have not, I will start on time to introduce our first speaker. So Darlene Blanco is a very passionate workforce executive. She's a career coach and an inspirational speaker. She believes that paying it forward and strengthening local communities by curating and delivering customized training workshops that inspire self-confidence and outline paths to career success. Today, she will be speaking on her speech called Dad's Advice. She will be giving a speech called Dad's Advice. So I kindly ask you to put your hands together and give a warm welcome to my friend, Darlene Blanco. Stage is yours, Darlene.
Thank you, Mario, and welcome everyone to our event. November is a very sentimental month for me. Tonight, we're talking about the things that we are grateful for. 11 years ago, I lost my dad. He was a very special person in my life. But every year, I celebrate him around this time of year. the last thing he did upon his death was to go and attend the parade, because he was a Vietnam veteran. And that was something that we often did together. And we would go to the parade and we would meet up and we would spend quality time together. And honestly, it's a joyous time for me, because while I miss him, I'm able to really just celebrate him. And the most important thing that I'm most grateful for that he shared with me before parting with me. Now, my dad was really a fantastic person. Him and I were very close. And he was a hero to me in so many ways. And there are so many accomplishments I could be here for days telling you about. But the advice that he shared with me was something that I never really understood up until later on in life as an adult. As a kid, I always heard, Dolly, be your number one fan. Yes, I'm Dolly. Don't tell anyone, but this was my nickname growing up as a kid, and I hated it, but this is what my parents called me. Dolly, be your number one fan. I'm always telling you this. This is the most important thing in life. You have to be your number one fan. What are you looking around? Who cares what she says? Who cares what he says? You be your number one fan. I never understood for the life of me what he was talking about when he was telling me how important it was for me to believe in myself, to trust myself, and to be inspired to be the amazing person I'm meant to be. Years and years it took for me to understand what this advice was. I couldn't understand it. But I do know that growing up as a teenager, we grow up with insecurities. We have a chip on our shoulder. I was shy. I was afraid, terrified of any kind of public speaking. And quite honestly, I never really had much confidence. So oftentimes I was never my number one fan, and I never understood how that would play out and how it would play out in my life. It took time for me to understand what he meant. Why am I looking for validation from others? Sometimes they're not even the people that I'm asking for validation from. I'm not even the ones that should be validating me to begin with. Why am I looking for acceptance? Why am I looking for others to say that I'm great? What'd you think of that? Did you like that? Did you really? Feedback is important, but sometimes you have to remember that if you don't believe and trust in yourself, the feedback that you do receive from others isn't going to help you. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, tonight as I share meaningful advice that Dad shared with me about being your number one fan, I want you to remember that it starts with believing in yourself, because that's an important step. You have to believe that you're capable of accomplishing your dreams. My dad had many dreams, and he only lived to the short age of 57. But in that time, he was a successful pilot in the Vietnam, and he was a successful Golden Globe boxer. And he had so many different things that he did. And this is what I share with everyone. If you believe in yourself, anything is possible. If you have a calling and if you have something special to share, you have to get in and do something about it. Don't let anybody sidetrack you from what your dreams are, and don't let anybody make you feel like you're not good enough. If you have a speech you want to deliver and you don't think it's ready, and you're sitting there waiting week after week to deliver it in your Toastmaster club, deliver it. It's never half-baked. Share what you have. You never know when your last day is here. And if you have something great and you have a special light that you're meant to shine, you have to shine it. Trust yourself, folks. Trust yourself. Being your number one fan means you have to trust yourself. You have to know when it's time to walk away from a bad situation, to find a new tribe, to maybe put yourself in better circles where you can work on that self-development. Sometimes the folks around us, family and friends, aren't the best folks that we should be getting advice from. Believe it or not, sometimes it's perfect strangers, and we have to find our tribe. I found my tribe, and a lot of them are here tonight. Build the confidence. Surround yourself with the folks that will help you build your confidence. It's important, especially as a leader. Many of us are leaders, and we are setting the example for others. And believe it or not, People aren't going to believe in you if you can't trust yourself. So that's important. Sometimes in leadership, there's uncertainty. There are things that are coming down the pipeline and we don't understand them, but we have to make quick decisions and we need to know that our teams can rely on us and they can trust us. You're a leader that doesn't believe in your good qualities, that's going to be impossible to do. And self-care, folks, is really important. When you're in that aircraft, if there's an emergency, they're saying, take care of yourself first. Secure your mask before you can help others. We oftentimes get so caught up in making sure everyone else is okay, we forget to do a check-in with ourselves. Build the confidence that you need. Surround yourself with the people that you need to help build that confidence. And remember that you have to be your number one fan. Believe in yourself every day. We all are unique. We have a beautiful footprint, a fingerprint that is unique to us. And we are meant to share our greatness with the world. And thank you all for hearing my advice tonight about being your number one fan. Very special to me from my dad. And I'm going to close with a little share so that you can see the special man I'm talking about. Wilfredo Valdez, my dad, my Vietnam veteran, a tribute to him tonight. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Darlene, for sharing Dad's advice. That's a wonderful, wonderful presentation. So I guess now there's room for me to become your number two fan since you've already taken the number one spot away from me already. So wonderful. So now we go to a little bit of an interactive portion. So Cindy, I asked you if you can pull up our wheel of names and spin for the folks who are on the call. And I kindly, and whoever the wheel stops on, we kindly ask that you give a 1 minute, roughly 1 minute. It could be shorter. We don't have a timer or a grammarian. Hello, okay. Duana, welcome. We asked you to come off mute and just share something on why you are grateful or what you are grateful for. If you have the opportunity, please do so. Great.
Hi.
Hey, Duana, welcome. It's great to see you.
Oh my goodness, Toastmaster Blanco. That was so inspirational. I just thought you did a great job with that speech. I recently lost my father this year, and it just made me think about my father. And he pretended to be the soldier at the tomb of the unknown soldier to tell the truth. And he has a picture of him. I have a picture of my father in that uniform that your father really did serve in. So I just think you did a great job, and you made me feel nostalgic and for my dad. And I don't know if this is your first Omni-Pro speech, but it certainly will not be your last. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Duana. I appreciate the time. Thank you for coming off mute and sharing a few words with us. So I will now move on to our second speaker for the program. Isaac Gelbinovich is a master storyteller. I always call him Mr. Storyteller. He's a published author, presentation coach, and international speaker. Today, we have the privilege of having him share a few of his favorite things. And coincidentally, that is the title of his speech, A Few of My Favorite Things. So please let us welcome Mr. Isaac Gelbinovich, A Few of My Favorite Things. Stage is yours, Isaac.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you. Thank you all for showing up here and joining us and sharing this meeting with us. And this month is, again, about Thanksgiving, about giving thanks, about being grateful. But are we taking a lot for granted? What are you taking for granted? I know that a lot of things I did take for granted for a long time, like my family, for example. And then calamity comes into our lives. And when calamity comes into life, it kind of makes us aware of different things, of like how things may change and how we shouldn't take for granted anything. My title of the speech is that few of my favorite things, and I will share a few of my favorite things, just a few. It's my family, speaking in public, and traveling. And all three of it was taken for granted by me. It was always there. It will always be there. Not really. Not really. Like I said, calamity came into the world, into our lives. The pandemic. And all of a sudden, everything, or a lot of things collapsed. Like I couldn't see my family as often as I wanted to. My daughter, she's a typical mother. She protects her family. And any sniffle or any sneeze, the family went into lockdown. I said, honey, I tested negative. Papa, my son is not, I'm sorry, it was almost funny. My son has no protection from COVID and no protection from you. So he doesn't need protection from me. No, I couldn't see my family. Yes, I could do FaceTime with my daughter and my son-in-law, but the little one cannot sit still. He's running around. FaceTime is not for him. And it was terrible. It was hurtful. Yes, we saw each other, but not as often as I wanted to, or as I would like to. Speaking in public, all of a sudden, everything changed. We stopped meeting face to face. We are speaking in public, like today, we're speaking in public. It's a live speech, live presentation, but it's not the same. Recently, we had hail and farewell for our District 83 director. And it was hybrid meeting. And part of it was in person to person. As soon as I heard it, I said, I'm in. I drove from Brooklyn to meet people in face to face, to hug my friends, to shake hands, to see their eyes. And it was worth it, every minute of it. I would do it again in a blink of an eye. It was fantastic. We're planning our meeting to do a hybrid meeting in December. I'm looking forward to it. Very much so. It will be a celebration, the holiday celebration and meeting all together. It will be a hybrid. It's okay. There is a part the face-to-face. I miss it. I used to take it for granted. Not anymore. It's a gift. It's something to be grateful for when we have it. When we have the energy of the room, when we see your eyes, when we can communicate face to face. Travel. I couldn't travel outside the country. There was no way. The world was locked down. And I miss it a lot because I love to travel. And I have a saying that the world is a book. And if you do not travel, you're just reading the cover. We have to open the book. We have to travel to see what's inside this book, what's inside the world. Bruce just told us a little story that he attends meetings around the world virtually, but still he learns so much because it's different countries, different people, different way of doing things. That's how we learn. When we have our meetings in our bureau together, we have so much variety. It's amazing. We have so much diversity, it's amazing. And I learn every time. I learn new things from my colleagues from the bureau. Just a few of us, only 5 or 6 of us at the meeting. Still, we learn from each other so much. Can you imagine how much we can learn when we travel the world? Travel outside the country, outside our city, outside our state. I remember first time I was in California, I had to remind myself that I'm still in the United States. I had to say, Isaac, it's still United States. That's how different I felt. Just a different coast of the country. It seemed to me like it was a different country at all, but it wasn't. So now the world is opening up and I can go on a trip. I can go on a tour. And my family decided for this holiday weekend to go on a road trip. Can you imagine? I'll be doing all three of my favorite things. I'll be with my family, I'll be traveling, and I'll be speaking in public, because we'll be in a car for about 2-3 hours. They have no choice but listening to me. So I'll be speaking in public, because as soon as we speak outside our own apartments or houses or homes, we're speaking in public. So I'll be doing all three of my favorite things together in one shot. And I am enormously, completely, utterly grateful for it. So I implore you, do not take things for granted. Cherish the moment, cherish the event, cherish each other, cherish the relationships we build, and build more. Because we do learn from each other. We do feed off of each other. And we give as much as we receive. Then it's the good relationship. And I would like to share with you one photo. Can you see it? Somebody give me a sign.
No, I can't see it, Isaac.
Oh, you cannot see it. Okay, how can I share the screen? Share. See, I'm technically challenged. What about now?
Yes, we can.
That's my little man. And I'll be spending 3 days with him and his parents. You see, I'm not showing you his parents, but I show him my grandson because he is the main event. I love his parents to death. I mean, this is my daughter and my son-in-law, but this is my grandson. Let me stop sharing. How can I stop sharing? Here it is. Like I said, I'm technically challenged with Zoom, with all this media, but we're working on it.
Great.
So
Thank
to
you.
close it, like I said, few of my favorite things, and I'm enormously, utterly grateful that I can do all of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac, for not just sharing a few of your favorite things, but actually showing us one of your favorite things. That was very charming and very beautiful to see. Now I get to hand it back to Cindy Wilson to pull up our names of peoples, so we can determine who will be the next person that we ask to unmute and just to share again, something that they're grateful for in this Thanksgiving holiday season.
I don't think Lorraine's here.
Okay, we will spin again.
Spin it again.
Wonderful.
Vincenzo.
We kindly ask that if you can come off mute and just give us a reason why you're grateful, or something that you're grateful for, just something that would inspire us in this holiday season.
Hi, thank you, fellow Toastmasters, for giving me this time. For this holiday season, I'm grateful for passion in all the different elements and all the different colors of the rainbow that it comes in. Passion for the love of my son, passion for the love of my work, passion that gets me up out of bed every day, passion for my health and wanting to be healthy, passion for my girlfriend, which is now almost a year. Just very passionate. I'm just the kind of person, I'm just so grateful for that. It springs me out of bed in the morning. It gets me to do so many different things. I'm just so passionate, and I'm so grateful this year that I've discovered that. So that's what I'm grateful for. Thank you very much.
Thank you for Vincenzo. We appreciate you sharing what you are grateful for. Wonderful. And that's what I enjoy about these programs. We want to make them interactive so everyone has the opportunity to become, not speak alongside us. I think we're one big family here. So I'm excited that you came off mute and was able to share something that you are, and you actually shared quite a few things that you were thankful for. So thank you for doing that. So now I'm going to move on to our third speaker for today, Margarita Estrada. She is also known as the Well-Connected Writer. She is a professional speaker, a coach, and a published author. She believes that the power of why will lead to curiosity, discovery, and yes, achievement. Today, her speech title is just that, why. So please help me to welcome Ms. Margarita Estrada, and as she presents her speech, why. Margarita, the floor is yours.
From the moment we are able to speak and into adulthood, the question why forces us to persist, to find our power and to find our purpose. In the September issue of Toastmasters magazine, world champion speaker Darren LaCroix suggested that all of us start the 77-day live video challenge. The idea is to deliver 77 live videos on any social media platform that you choose and on any subject. I started my journey of September the 3rd on Instagram Live. My topic, the 5th anniversary of Hurricane Maria and its effect on Puerto Rico. Little did I know that when I delivered video 24, this topic would hit me on a personal level. On September the 26th, the media announced that Hurricane Ian was making landfall in Southwest Florida towards Tampa. Worried, I immediately called my family and urged them to please evacuate. My sister Millie was all for it, but the rest of the family said, no, we'll hunker down and we'll get through it. Why did they make that decision? We have to understand the Floridian mentality because yes, it's totally different in Florida. Some Floridians say, we've been through so many hurricanes before, we'll get through this one. Others say, I have to protect my turf. And yet others say, you know, it's just a rough time. We're equipped. We have all our, necessary equipment to get through it. We'll be fine. Well, 2 days later, on September the 28th, Hurricane Ian makes landfall in Southwest Florida. But instead of going to Tampa, it goes to Fort Myers and Cape Coral, where my family resides. And as you can imagine, I was feeling distraught and worried. At 5:05, they lost power, water, and had limited cell phone connections. My family was depending on me to provide them with information. In addition, my brother Tony already had flotation devices ready in case they had to swim out of the house. You see, Hurricane Ian came at 150 miles an hour and storm surges up to 12 feet. After 6.5 hours, at 10 p.m., the torture was over. We were exhausted, relieved, but most importantly, grateful. The next morning, when I turned on the news and saw the devastation, my heart broke. The places that we had built memories as a family were now destroyed. That day, I did my Instagram Live And I communicated to my audience what my family and I have been through. And I also expressed my support that they have given me through this whole experience. It's now video 55, October 25th. And I'm almost deciding to give up on the video challenge because it has been too emotionally draining. But then Darren LaCroix tells me, Margarita, you have to stick to it because it is through getting through those tough times where you grow. So I decided to stick to it. On October the 26th, I fly to Florida. And when I get to the airport, my mom and my sister are waiting for me. I run to them and hug them to no end. My sister Millie tells me, Millie, you're talking to me, you're talking to me. I said, Millie, I'm sorry, I'm so excited to see you. Have any of you ever been close to losing your family? That night, we cut a cake for my sister Millie for her birthday, her 4th year as a cancer survivor, and also the fact that our family has survived Hurricane Ian. We also had a moment of silence for all of those whose families members did not survive and those that were missing. On October 30th, I returned home. And when I put down my backpack, I got on my knees and I said, thank you, God, for saving my family. This unforeseen event made me realize that Thanksgiving is a verb and not a noun. Every day, I'm grateful and I let my family know how much I love them. Do you let your family know how much you love them? I've also made it a point to speak joy into my existence and those that surround me. Do you make it a point to speak joy into your existence and those of others as well? Tonight, I will be delivering video 74 of the 77-day live video challenge. And I'm so grateful to Darren LaCroix for initiating this effort and the fact that I said yes to it. This challenge allowed me the power to grow, to have purpose, and to persist until the end. As far as my family and I are concerned, we have graduated from the victim mentality of why did this happen to me to powerful statements such as, why can't I make this phone call right now? Why can't I help my neighbor right now? Why can't I get rid of those grudges that are holding me down right now? If you find that all the why statements in your head are wearing you down, I urge you to consider that Thanksgiving is a verb and not a noun. Allow yourself to use the power of why to empower you to create beautiful todays so that you can look back at yesterday with joy and also look forward to tomorrow as every bright and beautiful day that comes along. When? Right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Margarita, for sharing that thought-provoking, powerful message. And I think that's a great question to ask everyone. You should take a moment and reflect on your why. And the way she described the whys is the right way to think about it. So thank you, Margarita, for that wonderful message. I now will hand it back to Cindy. If she can spin the wheel so we can identify another person who's going to join alongside us and just provide 1 minute on identifying the things that you are grateful for, just one thing. So we will spin that and now ask.
Alfred,
Alfred, we kindly ask that you come off mute and share with us for 1 minute on what you are grateful for and why you're grateful.
Good evening, everyone. So I would have to say, being that we're around the holidays, one thing I'm truly grateful for is good health. For me personally, I think around the holidays, I kind of hold my breath a little bit because there's always some somber news that comes through. If someone has bad health or a family member is passing or someone is sick, it seems like it's every holiday someone gets sick or pass, that I know. And just recently, I've heard someone from my church who just had a cardiac arrest and now they're in a vegetative state. And, and they have young children, and that just hit home, And I just look back and I said to myself that, I'm grateful to have health. During the pandemic, going to a dentist was one of those things where it was kind of impossible. No one wants to work in your mouth. They don't want to get COVID. And I'm glad that I got my dentist appointments. And I want to say, body-wise, I'm healthy. I went to the dentist. I'm healthy. So I'm truly grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alfred, for sharing. Appreciate you coming up and sharing those important messages. And health is just such a critical thing. Something that people often take for granted. The last few years have told us you really can't. Great. Thank you.
And now I have the honor of introducing Mr. Mario Lewis. Mario Lewis, creator of the Ready? Okay. Mario Lewis, creator of the Connect framework, is an award-winning energetic speaker and presentation coach who provides audiences and individuals with the motivation and strategies to become purposeful, powerful, and dynamic communicators. Please help me welcome Mario Lewis. Care to connect. Take it away, Mario.
Thank you, Margarita. So I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, friends who have joined us today, what does it take to connect with people? What is the right attitude and approach that you really need to use to connect with others? I simply believe it is caring. Caring. Caring is defined as the ability to display kindness or concern for others. Caring is truly about people. I believe that you have to demonstrate that you care about people. Basically, you need to care to connect. See, when I was younger and I was kind of insecure about myself and I wasn't sure about my place in the world, I felt I always used to try to impress others and by showing how smart I was and how much I had, like good grades and trophies and diplomas. And like even when I joined Toastmasters, I was more focused on winning trophies and winning contests and really connecting with people. And as I became more mature and as I became a manager and a leader, I learned this great quote that says that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I think Isaac and others, we debated on who was the author of that quote. I found, I did some more research. It's actually Teddy Roosevelt and one of our presidents. So people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I found that to be true. So in the spirit of caring, in this season of Thanksgiving, I am going to share the things that I care about most and the things that I am most thankful for as a speaker. First is the ability to speak, the skills, talents, and capabilities that we have all developed and crafted just by engaging with audiences over time. The second thing is the opportunity to speak, the time that we are actually given to share in front of others our messages and our talents. I think Bruce was talking about it earlier, that he goes and he's now, without a passport, he can speak internationally. So that opportunity to speak is both a blessing and a gift. And the funny thing is that none of us on this call today would be able to develop our ability to speak without the opportunity to speak. So I believe those go hand in hand. Next, the third thing is I'm just thankful for audiences. And I think Isaac touched upon that, just being able to do, whether it's Zoom, but especially in person, I really thank the people who come out and take their time out of their busy schedules. We know that you have competing priorities. You could be like Bruce, you could be anywhere in the world today, but you've chosen to take your time with us. Without you, we wouldn't have the opportunity to speak, and we wouldn't be able to develop the ability to speak. So it is with my greatest and most sincerest gratitude that I say to everyone on this call, I thank you. So for all those things I care about, those three things I identified, I want to just touch upon one that is just one today that I think is more specific, which is the ability to speak. When I think about the ability to speak, it is this ability to be comfortable in front of audience, share your messages, share your stories, and it is a skill that I do not take for granted. And here's the reason why. You see, in 2009, I rejoined Toastmasters. And it's around that same time that my oldest daughter, Sydney, was born, which is an interesting coincidence because our journeys in public speaking have been quite different. See, when I first joined Toastmasters, quickly I learned how to develop and deliver speeches fast. And I had so much success so quickly. I won contests and trophies. I became the district champion for table topics, humorous contests, international speeches for both in New York and New Jersey. And in 2012, I made it to the finals of the World Championship of Public Speaking. So in a short time, I achieved my biggest dreams. During that same time, I watched Sydney struggle to learn to communicate as a baby and as a child. She had a speech impediment that made it difficult for her to really just get her words out. And that was accompanied with severe tantrums when she couldn't get her message across. Although I became a successful speaker and eventually a coach, I would come home after winning contests and trophies and I couldn't help my own child with her own ability to speak. And that became my biggest nightmare. And what I saw as the Sydney got older, her tantrums became worse. We went from doctor to doctor and really couldn't get the help that she needed. My wife and Althea and I just felt absolutely alone. We didn't know who to talk to, where to go, where to turn, or what else to do. Finally, when she was about roughly 3.5 years old, it was just a simple conversation with administrator at Robert Wood Hospital that we recommended that we contact our local school district and find out if they offered speech therapy. We got her enrolled at our local elementary school, and they provided her with a multi-year IEP. And for those of you who don't know that term, is an individualized educational program that included speech therapy, anger management, and other school resources to support her ability to speak and just her overall development as a person and as a child. And over time, she developed her ability to speak. And by the time she turned 6, her tantrums were no longer an issue. Today, Sydney is 13 years old. And her transformation over these years have been nothing short of an absolute miracle. When she graduated from Lindcrest Elementary School in 2020, she was the only child invited and she sang the national anthem. In the past few years, she's participated in the Toastmasters Youth District program that Somesh, who's on our call, is a key founder and sponsor for. And last year, she even spoke at the District 83 conference, where she gave a speech on the topic of banning books in schools, something that she is passionate about. So isn't it interesting that we now have something common, a common bond that we've both spoken at the District 83 conference? I offer to you that watching Sydney's transformation and her public speaking journey inspires me to work as hard as she does, to become a better speaker, to connect better with audiences, and just to become a better person. I do not take the ability to speak for granted. I believe that one day Sydney is going to become just an amazing speaker, because at her young age, she already understands that you have to care to connect. She cares about people, she cares about audiences, and it shows whenever she speaks. And I encourage us all today, just to kind of follow Sydney's example in this season of Thanksgiving, to show kindness and concern for others, your loved ones, whether it be strangers and your audiences. Because again, you must care in order to connect. And I just want to share, just what some of us have done, a picture of Sydney. This is her 2020 graduation. This is taken after when she spoke at the District 83 conference. And I'm just excited that her message of caring and connecting is something that I can share today. Thank you, fellow Toastmaster, for the opportunity to share. I think I'll hand it back to me. I will hand it to Cindy. If you can then spin the wheel one more time.
There we go. Christina.
Hello, Christina.
Hello.
Hello, Christina Cora. We welcome you to share something for a minute on what you're thankful for or why you're thankful. Please I hand it to you to take over.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. I'm a guest here, but it's been lovely to hear you all. The top thing I am thankful for right now is my husband, who has traveled far to be with me. We both work remotely, but somehow I'm the one traveling and he's the one staying right by my side all the time and supporting me, even though it means working bad hours and late at night. And I'm really grateful to have someone like that by my side, as working remotely can be lonely, but it's always been amazing to have him there and to have someone who really supports me through thick and thin. So I'm very grateful for my husband, James. Thank you.
That is a beautiful tribute. We know that in this interesting time, families do make beautiful sacrifices to support and maintain the strength of relationships. So that is a beautiful tribute to James. And let him know that there are people on this call who now knows what a great person that he is. That's awesome. I would like to take the opportunity to, like I said, to bring up our cleanup hitter for today. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Cindy Wilson. She is a great storyteller who can both educate and entertain you while stimulating your imagination. So please, I welcome you to sit back, relax, and to listen her tell us why she is grateful, because she is truly blessed and highly favored. The title of her message today is called, again, Truly Blessed and Highly Favored. Please let us welcome Miss Cindy Wilson.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you so much. It was just a regular day. I am bringing my daughter home from school. We're sitting in the middle of the intersection on North Avenue and Salem Road in Elizabeth/Hillside, right at the line. I'm waiting to make a left turn. The light starts to change and all the traffic around me slows down, and I make the left turn into Salem. Wham! A car ran the red light and hit the back of my car right near the door. Nowadays, we call it being T-boned, but at that time, I was so upset. It didn't matter what you called it. This car hit where my kid was sitting. I had panic going through my head because the car pushed my car across the intersection and into the front of another car. I am now thinking, what has happened to my daughter? Because that's where she was sitting in the car. And I am just a parent who is so upset, so afraid, so moved by what had happened because this is my only child. I know I'm not going to have any others after this one. Did this accident take the life of my child? Will this be the last time I see her alive? And the next time I see her is when I am closing the top and putting her to rest. I look and I find that as that car hit me, the back seat of my car, I had a Toyota Camry XL that had just came out, and the seats were curved. They weren't the usual flat seats in this particular car, but the car seat had wrapped around my daughter and had held her tight, just as if she was in a cocoon or being hugged by someone so spiritual and whispering in her ear, "It'll be okay. It'll be okay." I get out of the car and I'm about to attack the person who hit me because they ran that light and they hurt me and they hurt my child. And it's good the police were there because they would have arrested me for homicide, maybe vehicular because they would have taken a part of that car, hit them over the head with it, and that would have been the end of them. But I was able to get us to the hospital. Ambulance came, picked us up, took us to Elizabeth General. And now we were both a little hurt. My daughter had a backache. I had a couple of scrapes and bruises, but that was the extent of our injuries. Truly, truly blessed. I went in a couple of days to go see the car at the impound lot, and the car had really been crushed in. I don't know how we got out with such minor injuries. We could have been killed in that accident. But I thank the Lord that at that time we were truly blessed and highly favored that we walked away from that accident. Have you ever thought about the times when things have happened to you and you are just been so lucky that you were able to get up and walk out, turn around, look at it, and say, "Phew," or "Thank God, no one else got hurt. Thank God, I didn't get hurt." You at that time were truly blessed because some things happen to us. We don't always understand why it happens or what is happening. Wherever we are at that particular time has an influence on what we do next or what happens next. Am I in the right place at the right time? Am I doing the right thing at the right time? Because we know we can be in the wrong place at the wrong time. You've taken time to look at what's happening with your family and your friends. And in this time of year, we ask ourselves, what can I do to make the condition of my family or my friends better? We have just gotten out of 3 years of a pandemic, and we have gotten through it. Some of us have gotten COVID-19 and survived. Some of us had it really mild. Some of us had it kind of tough, but we were able to rise and go forward and thank the Lord how blessed we were that we were able to make it through. There are so many things that we can do that can help our friends, help our neighbors, help our families. And we ask ourselves, especially this time of year, what can I do to be more thankful, to be blessed of the things that we receive, both spiritually and physically? It really doesn't matter what religion you are. You could be Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Benai, Buddha, Shinto. Whatever religion you are, there is this being that we worship, and we ask for help and we thank, especially being thankful for those things that we are able to receive. We all know that when we pray, we ask, but we also know that we will get that which the Lord sends us. As I said, no matter who you worship, that you will get what is due to you. Not everything you get is what you want, but you will get those things that you actually need. Again, being blessed and highly favored. What I'd like you to think about is, what can you do to make things better? What blessings have you received to this day that you may not have gotten in the past? What are those blessings? Family that's with us, that we love. Friends that we have made over the years, from our childhoods up to our adulthoods to where we are now. How many friends from the past have you had the feeling to say, I wonder how they're doing. I wonder if I can find them, and call them and just say, hi, remember me from high school? Or maybe you don't want them to remember you from high school. Maybe you don't want them to remember you from college either. But the things that you and your friends had done in the past that bring up those great memories that you're thankful for, the people you've met, the things you've done, the places you've seen. How many places on your bucket list have you checked off yet? Do you have a bucket list of things to check off? If you don't, try to get a bucket list of things that you want to do before you walk away from this world. We all talk about how many years we may have. In the Old Testament, it hints that we have about 70 years. And anything beyond 70 years is a true blessing. A friend of mine told me that at 70 years old, they could have another bar or bat mitzvah, because it's like starting a second life. And if I were Jewish, I think I would want to have one of those. Or maybe just as me, just go out and have a party to celebrate life and its joys and its blessings. So just think about that. How are you highly blessed and highly favored? Be good, be loving, be friendly, care for people. We've heard our friends today, especially Mario, talk about how we care for people, and especially to care and connect. This is an opportunity to do that at this time of year. My charge to you is to be that person who can say that they are truly blessed and highly favored. Now, I'll admit, I am not rich in money, that is, but in feeling and in friendships and in love, I have an abundance of it, because I have been truly blessed and highly favored. And I'd like you all to share that same feeling with your friends and your families. Be there for them. Care about them. If they need a shoulder to cry on, be that shoulder. If they need somebody to party hardy with, you could be that person too. But remember, in order for you to feel fulfilled, you have to share it. You can't keep it to yourself. You've got to share it with everyone who's around you. Because I want you to be truly blessed and highly favored. Back to you, Mario.
Thank you, Cindy, for sharing that wonderful message. Way to bring our program towards our closing. I think we're still going to invite one more person to speak with the wheel of names.
Okay, I thought at this time that we were going to open it up.
My
What's our
apologies.
timing?
You are absolutely correct. So we'll open it up for anyone else who would like to share any messages of gratitude after all that you've heard.
Use the raise hand feature, please, and Tom will call on you.
I haven't seen anyone raise their hand, so we might have to go back to the wheel.
I think Bruce, are you raising your hand? If you are,
Linda,
you're on mute, Bruce.
Oh, Linda, stop.
I'm technically challenged like Isaac. I'm like, where's the hand at? Yeah, I was raising my hand. I mean, Linda got hers up first, but Linda, you're welcome to talk, and I
Please
can
go.
talk afterwards.
We'll go ahead, Linda, and then we'll invite Bruce, please.
Okay, either way, I want to thank the Omni-Pro speakers. Those were all, I put in the chat that Margarita almost made me cry, but I think all of you made me cry. We're like, okay, Linda, you're not gonna cry, you're on video. Now I'm spotlighted on video, great, all right. I want to thank all of you. I think that you all had beautiful stories that you really deep down and gave it the personal touch. I mean, it's easy for us to say things that, we're thankful for our family, we're thankful for our homes, our jobs, but you dug down deeper than that, and I really appreciate that. And I'm thankful for my home, my family. I think my family is probably the most, because they're there through the good times, the bad times, and of course, I'm thankful for my Toastmasters.
Thank you for sharing, Linda. Appreciate it. Bruce, I want to hear what you're thankful about. What makes you grateful?
Thank you very much, Mario. I have to tell you all that I am truly grateful to be sitting here in the comfort of my room with a bottle of gin next to my right, listening to these wonderful, choice, thoughtful, considerate feelings of gratefulness and joy. It certainly is a pleasure to be part of this. And that's one of the things that I have constantly remind myself of, the thoughtfulness and the compassion that we have learned in this space, how to listen, how to be present to one another, and how to understand, and how to recognize that we all share a common theme, which is the power of our voice, the ability to share our thoughts with others, and to try to connect with those who may not be familiar with this forum that we call Toastmasters. And we use these experiences. Some of the messages that I received from today's speakers have been powerful, and they resonated very strongly with me, in that we are never alone. We are only alone as we are willing to be by not reaching out and asking for help and support. We are blessed to be able to sit in a space where we can communicate virtually like this, to be comforted with security and warmth in this cold weather is a blessing. There's so much to be thankful and grateful for. And just listening to some of the life stories, the protection and the want and the needs of a mother and daughter with their daughter to be a powerful speaker was so touching. And to listen to someone talk about their father, who was a Vietnam veteran. I am a Vietnam veteran. All of these things were really powerful. They strongly resonated with me, and I really feel extreme joy to be here tonight. And I want to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to share that with you. So once again, thank you. And I wish you all a great Thanksgiving as well.
Beautifully said, Bruce. So thank you, Linda. Thank you, Bruce, for sharing those comments. So at this program, whereas we move.
Bruce, you didn't speak very quick, very fast. It was wonderful pace.
I took your lesson.
Wonderful pace.
Quite a passionate message. So I think this is the type of venue that when you surround yourself with like-minded people, and that's why we're excited about this program, is because you get to, when you interact with people, you start to become like the people you interact with, and so to be around people who are grateful, thoughtful, who just really are thankful for the space that they're in and want to help and build upon each other. I think this is what the outcome is. So one of the things I'm tasked with doing, I just wanted to just put in the chat, just share information a little bit about Omni-Pro Speakers Bureau. The simple information, we put our website here, is that we are a resource for District 83 and beyond in order to share messages of hope, inspiration. We all have our individual skills and talents, but as a group, I think we're all here to just really advance the district and advance public speaking in general. So please check out our website. Please check us out individually. We are here to support, serve, and be an asset to the communities in which we serve. So I think there was a couple other pieces of business. I know that we want to ask everyone to come off, put on video so we can take a picture, but I think we also have a raffle of Toastmaster bucks and other things. And I think I want to hand that over to Cindy, who can lead that for us, please.
Yes, we have a raffle of 2 $25 gift certificates. They were donated by Impact 21 and by New Day Toastmasters. So as you see, the wheel is here. We're going to spin the wheel. And for the 2 people who win the raffle, if you would send your address to Darlene and myself, we will give you our email addresses so you don't have to post it in the chat. So it'll be private. And then we will mail them out to you. I think we have a couple more days on that sale that's in the Toastmaster store. So we'll try to get it out to you like right away. So you'll be able to take advantage of that sale or just hang on to the certificate. So as you see, the names are in the wheel, and let's spin the wheel. Let's see what happens. And our first winner is,
Feel like I'm in Vegas all of a sudden.
yeah. Oh, looks like it's Alfred. Oh, it's Kahinde. Oh, that is cute. Okay. Kahinde, congratulations
Kahinde is the winner of the first prize.
of the first one. And let's spin it again for the second one. And our second winner is Bruce. So congratulations to Kahinde and to Bruce. You're the winners.
So please reach out to Cindy and Darlene in order to claim your prize of Toastmasters money, and be hurried. Like you said, there's a sale going on now and everybody loves a Black Friday sale. Get yourself some Toastmasters gear and swag. So I think so, Margarita, you may be taking the picture.
Yes, I wanted to get a group picture of everybody, so if everybody could please turn on your
Would you please
camera.
take a moment and come off mute, please? We'd really appreciate it.
Mhm,
And the
thank
other
you.
thing that we appreciate all the messages of hope and gratitude.
Okay,
So,
okay,
as
can
you-
you turn on your camera? Everybody,
Thank you all.
turn on your cameras. Okay, fantastic. Now we'll take a group picture of everybody. Everybody smile, say cheese.
We're gonna do a regular one, and I'm gonna ask everybody to do a funny face or a waving hands.
Okay, let me get my other document ready so that I could like dump the picture there. Okay. Yes, this has to be an organized fashion. Okay, now everybody do funny face, whatever you like. Yeah, raise your hands, everybody. Okay, let's see how this. Oh, perfect, beautiful. Okay, we're good.
Great.
We're good.
I want to make sure I don't have any other closing business before we close the program today. Other than just to say thank you to all the participants. I want to thank my fellow Omni-Pro Speakers Bureau colleagues for their wonderful words of encouragement and of gratitude. But I especially, and I think I mentioned it earlier, one of the 3 things I'm grateful for, the number 3 was the audiences. Again, you could have been anywhere on this Monday. We want to thank you for taking the time. It is a blessing to us, but for you to give us the opportunity to share messages that from our hearts to yours. So I thank you. I trust that in this Thanksgiving season, you and your families will be safe, that you are blessed and highly favored. And we look forward to you joining us again at our next Omni-Pro Speakers event, which we will share directly with you. Have an awesome, wonderful rest of your day. Have a great week. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care now.
Thank you.
You too. Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all.
Thank you. Good
Bureau
night.
members, hang on, please.
Thank you, Tom. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Tom. You did such a great
Thank you,
job.
Tom. Did we
Hey.
stop recording already?
Thank you.